It's a beautiful day, and I thank the Almighty, and I believe you too are okay and are also having a good day. So in today's topic, we are going to talk about constructivist theory. And this topic, it's one of my favorite, and I believe you're going to enjoy this lesson. So we have Piaget and Vygotsky, the pioneers of this constructivist theory, and these are the people who believe that learners actively construct their own understanding and knowledge of the world through experiences, through reflections and social interactions, rather than passively absorbing information. I combined both Vygotsky and Piaget because both of them are the theorists and the pioneers of the constructivist theory. So Piaget, he focused on cognitive. What is cognitive? Cognitive, it deals with our mental life, what goes inside our heads when we perceive, attend, remember, categorize, reason, decide, and so forth. So he focused on cognitive individual construction through maturation and experiences, while Vygotsky emphasizes social interaction and culture and language as the primary drivers of cognitive development. Jean Piaget, cognitive constructivism. Piaget's theory, it focuses on the stages of cognitive development, proposing that children progress through 4 distinct stages. Each stage is characterized by different ways of thinking, understanding the world. This theory, it emphasizes the sequential and universal nature of cognitive development, with each stage building on the previous stage. So the key processes in Jean Piaget's theory: learning happens through assimilation and accommodation. What is assimilation? Assimilation, it is fitting new information into existing schemas. For example, let me say this. A child sees a bird flying up in the sky, right? Then you take the child into, for example, to a game park, and she sees another bird, and she will think, this bird still flies like the other bird. So she will believe that all birds fly, right? Then accommodation comes in, adjusting schemas to fit new information. Then the child will come and realize that this bird is not flying like the other bird. So she or he will have to adjust the existing schema to fit in the new information that not all birds fly, okay? And the key concept here, equilibration. It is the process of searching for cognitive balance between new experiences and current understanding. So the new experiences, this child has now seen that not all birds fly. And the current understanding, she believed that all birds fly. So equilibration is the process of searching for the cognitive balance in between, so that she will now know this and this is this and this is this, okay? Now she will understand that not all birds fly. Then the perspective on speech Jean Piaget regarded egocentric speech as self-centered in nature. We all understand that egocentrism, we know, is the process of being self-centered. It's like the whole world relies on your own understanding, right? So Piaget viewed it as a sign of cognitive immaturity, and egocentrism fades away with age. So as the child grows, so does the egocentrism fade away. That is what Piaget believed. Then let's come to Lev Vygotsky. I don't know why I love Lev Vygotsky, but it's okay. So Lev Vygotsky, the social constructivism. Vygotsky theory, it emphasizes the fundamental role of social interaction in cognitive development, suggesting that children learn through guided interaction with the more knowledgeable other. This theory uniquely highlights the importance of culture and social context in shaping cognitive development. This is according to who? Lev Vygotsky. So the key concept here, the zone of proximal development, the ZPD. What is the ZPD? It is the distance between what a learner can do independently and what they can achieve with guidance. For example, a child is given a math test, right? Let's say she's given a math test, 2 plus 2, the child is able to do, right? Then the child is given some other test and she's not able to do. But with a teacher, the more knowledgeable other, guiding the learner in the maths, In the maths question, the child is now able to do the work in the next examination. So the zone of proximal development, this is the distance between what a child can do on her own and what the child can do with help. So, and then we have scaffolding, the tailored support given to the learner during the learning process, which is gradually removed as they gain mastery. So as the child grows, so the teacher will remove, the teacher will stop. Or let me give another example. A small child who is crawling and has not yet started to walk, right? Then the parent provides something like a table or a chair, and you will realize that the child tries hard and tries to touch on the table so that the child can be able to stand, right? It's because of this table that the child is able to gain the mastery of standing. But as when the child has stood on her own, the scaffold is removed. There is the scaffolding. So what we learn with Lev Vygotsky, we have the more knowledgeable other, we have the zone of proximal development, and we have the scaffolding. So the perspective on speech. Vygotsky believed that social language and egocentric speech are crucial for developing higher mental function. Vygotsky viewed it as a private speech, a critical tool for self-regulation and problem solving that internalizes into thought. And he believed that it doesn't fade away, it grows, and it helps with somebody's in its ability, in the cognitive abilities. So Vygotsky believed that it stays, okay? So in conclusion, I believe you guys have understood more about these two people. We will say that these people also have similarities. One, there's active learning. Both believe that learners must actively engage with materials rather than passively consume it. Student-centered. Both support classrooms that focuses on students' discovery and interaction rather than teacher-centered lecturing, and that both emphasize that new learning is built up on the foundation of the previous knowledge. That is the prior knowledge. I believe you people have understood and have enjoyed the lesson. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. Please subscribe and like the video.